Howdy folks, and welcome back to Skyrim with the mighty Jingles. As you can see, we're back to our level 1 save game, although this is young Ariani. Shortly after escaping from the dungeons in Helgen, progressed the main quest just a little bit. She's up to level 3. And what we're seeing here is our first encounter, proper encounter, you know, when we're not just running away from it, with a dragon. So we've headed to Whiterun, we've spoken to the Jarl, we've cleared out Bleak Falls Barrow for the Court Mage, and our dragon is attacking the western Watchtower outside Whiterun. So we need to head off, meet Irilith, the Dark Elf housecarl of the Jarl of Whiterun, with some troops, and try and kill this dragon. I guarantee the first time you have to go up against a dragon in this game, you will shit bricks. You know, as well you should. And you're probably level 3, maybe level 4 by the time you get to this stage. So we're heading down to meet Irilith with half a dozen guards. Go and kill ourselves a dragon. Yep, there's a dragon been here, all right.
No signs of any dragon right now, but it sure looks like he's been here. I know it looks bad, but we've got to figure out what happened, and if that dragon is still skulking around somewhere. Spread out and look for survivors. We need to know what we're dealing with.
Apologies for all the bloodstains on my black mage robes. But some of the occupants of Bleak Falls Barrow were in no rush to hand over their treasures.
No, get back. It's still here somewhere. Rocky and Todd just got grabbed when they tried to make a run for it.
I love the way all the MP...
Guardsman, what happened here? Where's this dragon? Quickly now!
I don't know. Kinnereth, save us. Here he comes again.
Here he comes!
Oh crap.
Find cover and make every arrow count!
Here it comes. Let's get my fire spells ready, because this is probably going to hurt. Look at that big scaly bastard.
Fall to me, dragon.
He's a named dragon.
You are brave, Milan. Your defeat brings me honor.
Dual casting you. Oh, get out of the way. Magic potion. Another magic potion.
Dovahkiin! No!
Let's make sure that overgrown lizard is really dead. Damn good shooting,
He
boys.
took some killing.
Everybody, get back!
And this comes as a bit of a surprise the first time it happens. Ooh. Dragon soul absorbed. What the hell?
I can't believe it. You're Dragonborn.
Dragon what?
In the very oldest tales, back from when there were still dragons in Skyrim, the Dragonborn would slay dragons and steal their power. That's what you did, isn't it? Absorb the dragon's power.
Maybe.
There's only one way to find out. Try to shout. That would prove it. According to the old legends, only the Dragonborn can shout without training, the way the dragons do.
Dragonborn? What are you talking about?
That's right. My grandfather used to tell stories about the Dragonborn. Those born with the dragon blood in them. Like old Tiber Septim himself.
I've never heard of Tiber Septim killing any dragons.
There weren't any dragons then, idiot. They're just coming back now for the first time in forever. But the old tales tell of the Dragonborn who could kill dragons and steal their power. You must be one.
What do you say, Irleth? You're being awfully quiet. Come on, Irleth. Tell us. Do you believe in this Dragonborn business?
Some of you would be better off keeping quiet than flapping your gums on matters you don't know anything about. Here's a dead dragon, and that's something I definitely understand.
Yeah, he's
Now
pretty
we
dead,
know
alright.
we can kill them. But I don't need some mythical Dragonborn. Someone who can put down a dragon is more than enough for me.
You wouldn't understand, Housecarl. You ain't a Nord.
I've been all across Tamriel. I've seen plenty of things just as outlandish as this. I'd advise you all to trust in the strength of your sword arm over tales and legends.
If you really are Dragonborn, like out of the old tales, you ought to be able to shout. Can you? Have you tried?
Well, as it happens, I did learn a word of power while I was in Bleak Falls Barrow. And you need to absorb dragon souls in order to should be equipped in order to activate them. And as it happens, I just absorbed a dragon soul and it unlocked this one. And you activate your shout powers by pressing Z.
By all I
That
hold
was shouting.
sacred.
What you just
That's
did.
a shout.
Must be.
Like the Greybeards
You
on their
really are
mountain.
Dragonborn then.
Well, that's nice. Well, let's loot this dragon while he's here. Because this is where you get dragon bone and dragon scales for crafting really, really good armour. Oh, looks like one of the guards corked it. And so that was Ariane's first encounter with, first proper encounter, where she actually had the option of fighting back against a dragon in Skyrim. And yeah, you will shit a brick the first time you have to do it. Later on, not quite so difficult. So you've seen the problems Ariane has when trying to kill dragons at level, what, 1? At level 50, it's not that much of a problem. And there's one of the big scaly buggers. Come here, you big worm. I want a word with you. Come, Shadowmere, to battle. It's not really a battle, it's more of a small skirmish. Where's he gone? There he is. Right, I'm going to dismount here. I don't want Shadowmere to get involved. He just gets in the way. Oh, some Nern root over there. I'll come back and grab that later. Come here, you big scaly lizard bastard, you.
You can't win this!
How did he go? Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. Who's a badass? Who's a badass? Come on, who is a badass? Yeah, that's right. I'm a badass. Significantly easier at level 50, I'm sure you'll agree. And we'll just absorb his soul. This was actually a named dragon. You don't see many of those. And that's always impressive. Dragon soul absorbed. Dragon souls used to power your shouts. So we'll search him and... Oh, Amanda, I believe this arrow belongs to you. And that's how you deal with dragons at level 50. Yeah. Oi, excuse me. Do you mind? I'm trying to make a video here. Bloody wildlife. Anyway, yeah, so Hearthfire. That's what I promised you in this video, wasn't it? So we're going to pop over to Riverview and have a look at my estate. And I'll take you through the building process by opening up an earlier staged save game. So let's crack on with that. So, Hearthfire. What does Hearthfire do? Well, it's not so much an expansion in the same way that Dawnguard is. Dawnguard adds new quests, new storyline, all sorts of new stuff, and it's correspondingly more expensive. Hearthfire cost me less than £4, so I don't know, $5 on Steam. It's cheap. And rather than adding quests and storylines, it just adds new content. And Hearthfire expands on the property values, if you like, that are available in the game. Now, you can own property in the game anyway. As you go around completing quests in various different towns and cities, the lords, or the jarls of those cities, will grant you the ability to buy property in the town. What Hearthfire does is it expands upon that massively. And there are 3 towns or holds in the game that will now allow you the ability to buy land and build on that land. There's one in the Pale, there's one in Hjalmarch, and there's one here in Falkreath. So I've just advanced the local quests to the stage where the Jarl, there he is sitting over there, is just about to grant me permission to buy property.
Good to see you. Finally, someone useful is around. Yes, what is it that you want?
I've killed the leader of Bile Gulch Mine.
Teach them to stop paying me. Here, you deserve a reward for your service. You know what? I like you. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I hereby grant you permission to purchase property in Falkreath Hold. Talk to my steward if you're interested.
So, job done.
Come and see me again sometime. I might have some use for you.
Now you continue. At this stage, you do have the option of continuing to do jobs for Jarl Sidagir. And at the conclusion of this, there's a very, very small little quest chain, at the conclusion of which he proclaims you a Thane of Falkreath and assigns a housecarl to you to act as your companion, bodyguard, steward, what have you. Now, you're going to need a housecarl, but I already have one in Whiterun. Lydia is the first housecarl that you get assigned to you in the game. So I'm going to use Lydia for that rather than pursue this quest line any further. And right now we're going to go and talk to the Jarl's steward and buy that property he talked about.
I'm the steward here. I serve under Jarl Sidgir and Jarl Dengir before him.
Okay, I'd like to purchase a house.
There's no house available, but I could sell you a fine piece of land where you could build your own house.
Sounds good.
You won't regret it. Here's the title to your steading. Follow the road east from Falkreath, then north at the crossroads. Turn left just past Pine Watch.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to Whiterun first. And the reason we're doing that is because I need to pick up Lydia, who's my housecarl in Whiterun, and she's going to act as the steward for the estate that we're going to build in Lakeview.
May wisdom forever light your path.
And also to, just to give you some contrast, the home that's available for you in Whiterun, which you're going to get in the game anyway. You don't have to get the Hearthfire expansion. Just to show you the difference between what is already in the game, and then we're going to have a look at what we can build.
I protect the Jarl, whoever that might be.
That's nice, Heldard. Shut up. So let's head off to Whiterun and see what we see there. So it's early morning in Whiterun, and this is, well, you get this house. Well, you get the opportunity to purchase this home very, very early on in the game, in the main quest line. And here it is. This house is derelict and abandoned when you first begin playing the game, and as you progress the main storyline very, very early on, around about level 3, 4, 5, at the latest, you get given permission to purchase this property. It'll cost you 5,000 gold. You probably won't have the money for it immediately, but it's a little thing to be aiming for. And here it is, Breeze Home in Whiterun. And it's not bad. When you first purchase it, it is just completely empty, covered in cobwebs. But you can speak to the steward.
Mama, you're home!
Here we go. This is one of
Can
the
I
other
get a
things.
few gold to spend? Please?
Yeah, 5 gold.
Alright, thanks.
Don't want to spoil her. This is one of the other things that Hearthfire adds. and it's the ability to adopt children. There are orphans created by the Civil War all over the place, and you can take them in, up to 2, and basically look after them, become their mother or father. I don't know why they felt the need to put that in, but they did. Now, here's
What do
Lydia.
you need, my thing?
And I need Lydia to follow me.
Lead the way.
Lydia is now my companion, and we're going to need Lydia, because Lydia is going to be the steward of our new home in Lakeview Manor when we build the place. So we're going to need Lydia to come with us. Having Lydia with us also is going to be really, really helpful, because she can help carry all of the junk that you're going to need to build this place. Here in Bree's home, I have a chest full of stuff, a lot of which I'm going to be needing. Things like bear pelts. What else do we have? Oh, here we go. The ore. Corundum ingots. All sorts of good stuff. I'm going to need all of this. Deer hides. Dragon bone, dragon scales. Not going to need those. Metal. Yes, definitely. I'll take the ebony ingots. So I'm going to go ahead and collect all of the stuff that I'm going to need. And then with Lydia's help, we're going to take it to Lakeview Manor. I'm probably also going to have to go around visiting various blacksmiths and buying up lots and lots and lots of iron ingots, because you are going to go through a metric butt-ton of these things. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do what I do, because as you can see, I'm 93,000 gold. I'm not exactly short of cash. You can go around and just buy the materials that you're going to need. Or you can you can make this more of a long-term goal and just build up your home as you play through the game by collecting materials for it that you would just normally collect while playing the game anyway. And one of the other things that Hearthfire does is a lot of those junk items that you really had no need for and you just left on the bodies of the things that you killed, for example, the horns of goats, the antlers on deer, what possible use could they have? Well, if you have a look around the house, see if I can find an example here. I seem to be using mostly candles for illumination in this home. Maybe downstairs. No, nothing here. Oh, there you go, the chandelier. Right, those are goat horns. So what Hearthfire does is it adds a practical use for a lot of the stuff that you would normally just leave behind on the bodies of the things you've killed. Things like, well, if you want to mount an animal's, kind of barbaric, I know, but if you want to mount an animal's head on the wall, you have to go out and hunt down the animal. You know, deer antlers, elk antlers, deer hides, wolf pelts, bear pelts, things like that previously you might just turn into leather for use while blacksmithing. Now you can actually use to decorate the home. And you're going to need a lot of these goat horns because they're the primary source of illumination in your home. So I'm going to go ahead and collect the stuff I need, and then we'll meet you back at Lakeview Manor itself. So eventually you end up here at Lakeview. And believe it or not, this is, according to the map, Lakeview Manor. And this is exactly what it looks like when you arrive here. There's nothing here other than an anvil, a carpenter's workbench, a chest with enough building materials in it in order to get a start made on the home, and a drafting table. There's a couple of useful locations nearby. Right here is a stone quarry. You're going to need a lot of quarried stone. And there's a pickaxe, which you can use to mine the stone. Over here is a log pile, and the log pile is just there to indicate how much. There we go, we have 20 wooden logs available for construction. The log pile, wooden logs are the only thing that you don't actually need to have in your inventory. They just sit here in this log pile. And over here is a couple of clay deposits that you can use to mine some clay. Now, unlike other resource nodes in the game, these never run out, which is quite handy because you're going to need a lot of this stuff. Probably the single biggest other material that you're going to need to collect is iron. You can never have too many iron ingots. You're going to need hundreds. And that's basically because building this house is going to use a lot of nails, and I mean a lot. Now, I have prepared some earlier before I started recording, so we'll go straight ahead and we'll use the drafting table. And there's the first quest complete. Now we need to buy lumber for building the house and use the drafting table to begin building the house. So there is already some lumber here, enough to get the first stage of the house built. So we'll go right ahead. And the first thing that you're going to build here is a small house layout. Now this isn't going to be nearly as grand as any of the houses already existing in the game that you can purchase, but it's just a start, and I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to go ahead and lay out a small house. And once we've done that, if we turn around, we'll see we've laid out the markings for the foundations. Then you head to the carpenter's workbench and making sure you have the materials that you require in your inventory. We can see for the foundation we're going to need 20 sawn logs and 10 quarried stones. Correction, we're going to need a sawn log of the 20 that we have and 10 quarried stone of the 30 that we have. For the wall framings, more sawn logs and 10 nails. You can see I have 210, I've been busy. And I will probably run out of nails at some stage. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the foundation down. And let's see what that looks like. There you go, there's the foundation constructed. Also, by the way, there we go, Beginner's Guide to Homesteading book for all the information you could possibly require. So with the foundation laid, we'll go ahead and put the walls up, or the wall framing, and we'll see what that looks like. And you can see it's starting to take shape. Now add the actual walls, and you can see right there, sawn logs, nails and clay. You get enough of this stuff in the chest at the start in order to at least build the small house. And there's the walls up, so then we're going to need a roof and we're going to need a door. So put the floor in and the roof frame, and we're nearly done. You can see it taking shape. Back to the workbench. Let's put the roof on it and the door. Now the door requires locks, so in addition to iron you're going to need lots of corundum. Corundum ingots and iron are what you use to make locks. You're going to need a few of these as well, but not nearly as many as you're going to need iron. So we'll put the door on, and now the house itself is complete. And as soon as the house is complete, you get the option to add all sorts of little extras. So let's just go and take a look at what the actual house itself looks like. Now a number of things happen as soon as the house is built. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It's one room, that's all there is. Now, once the house is built, you get the option of turning any of your housecarls into a steward, and a steward is very important. So we're going to ask Lydia to become the steward of the house.
I'm right behind you. I'd be honored to be your steward. You've built a fine steading here.
Why, thank you. Now, this is probably the most important thing that the steward will do for you. You can basically use the steward to automatically order building materials like clay, lumber and stone. It will cost you gold. You can just go ahead and mine the stuff yourself, but this is the quick and easy way of doing it. And you're going to find that when you're building your home up, that there are always two ways of doing it. There's the quick and easy way, which is going to cost you money, by buying the materials that you're going to need. Or, if you don't want to get the house up in 2 days, you can just go ahead and collect all the material that you're going to need as you're playing the game, as you're leveling up. And then every now and then you come back, you build a little extension to the house, you throw some more furnishings in, and you just keep going as you play the game along. But for the sake of demonstration purposes, I'm absolutely loaded with cash, so I'm going to do it the quick and easy way. So, Lydia.
Of course. What are we running short of?
Well, we can never have too much lumber.
I'll see to it at once.
So it's going to cost you 200 gold per time.
Is there anything else you need? I'll see to it at once. Is there anything else you need? I'll see to it at once.
Order a huge stack of lumber.
Is there anything else you need? I'll see to it at... Is there anything else you need? I'll see to it at once. Is there anything else you need?
Because we are going to go through hundreds of this. And I'll just get some more
Certainly.
clay.
Is there anything else you need?
And some more stone.
Certainly. Is there anything else you need? Certainly. Is there anything else you need?
The cellar obviously requires
Certainly.
a lot of this stuff.
Is there anything else you need? Certainly. Is there anything else you need? Certainly. Is there anything else you need?
Sorry, this bit's a little boring.
Certainly. Is there anything else you need?
Now, there were other options there,
Very good, ma'am.
like making improvements to the house. And we're not going to do this at the moment. We're going to wait until we've built some extensions, and then I'll show you what happens here. but she can also buy furnishings. Now, and again, this is a shortcut. Inside the house, you're going to see
Farewell.
things like carpenter's workbenches inside each room in the house have their own carpenter's workbench for improving that room within the house. What I'm not going to do right now is show you the decoration options for this one small house, because basically we're going to turn this house into the entry hall for the proper house. We're going to build massive extensions onto this and basically turn this one small room cottage into just the entry hall. So rather than waste time decorating this place, we'll go ahead, toss some extensions up, and then we'll decorate the actual estate itself. Now, you also saw that as soon as the small house here was constructed, that other options became available. So what were they? Well, we can build an animal pen. So let's go ahead and do that. An apiary, so we can harvest honey. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. An armourer's workbench for improving armour. We can build a garden, so we can harvest crops. A grindstone for improving weapons. The smelter is going to be very, very useful for turning iron ore into iron ingots. And we can throw up a stable. So we built all of those, and let's have a look and see what it looks like. Well, there's the stable. Empty at the moment, space for 2 horses. Although Shadowmere just likes to stand around rather than actually sitting in the stable. There's the workbenches. There's the smelter. Do we have anything we can actually do? Yeah, we've got some corundum ore on us, so we'll go ahead and make that into an ingot. We have some iron ore. We're never going to have enough iron. Iron is always good, so we'll go ahead and smelt these. And a little bit of refined moonstone and some silver. There we go. So there's the smelter used. Here's the garden. Now you'll see this is new. Activate fertile soil. So any alchemy ingredients basically, or food, because you can cook as well, you can basically plant here and have your own stock growing, which is useful. And then all the way back here is the apiary, and you can visit this every couple of days to harvest honey for alchemy or for brewing mead. Over on this side we've got a tanning rack, and there's the animal pen. No animals in it at the moment, but that's what your steward's for. So let's go ahead, speak to Lydia. Where's she gone? She's still inside. Okay, let's speak to Lydia and get some livestock bought.
I am your sword and your shield. Certainly. What did you have in mind?
Well, yeah, let's get a carriage.
Very good. I'll see about hiring a carriage driver at once.
Carriages are for fast travelling between cities, which is nice.
Certainly. What did you have in mind?
You can see none of this stuff is particularly cheap. I'm not going to get a bard just yet. I'm going to wait until the extension of the house has been built. And the bard basically provides music for you in the house. Seems obvious. Let's get a horse.
Ah, good. There's one I've had my eye on. I'll see if it's still for sale. Certainly. What did you have in mind?
Let's get a cow for
I'll
the
keep
animal
an eye
pen.
out for a good cow to purchase. Certainly. What did you have in mind?
And
I'll see to it at
a
once.
chicken or 2 for the animal pen.
Certainly. What did you have in mind? I'll see to it at once.
And there you go.
Farewell.
So, pop outside, see what sort of improvements she's provided. And you should find in the animal pen outside. There you go, we've got a cow, we've got some chickens. A little chicken nest under the lean-to at the back there, so we can harvest eggs every few days. There's another mount sitting there in the stable. And there's our carriage driver.
Long life to you, Thane.
So, what we're going to do now is we're going to build extensions onto the house that I talked about. And the first thing you're going to do is a main hall. So, back to the drafting table. Yep, we want to create a main hall. And the process is exactly the same. Oops, sorry, I was reading the book instead of actually using the workbench. So, we're going to need a door. And now you can see we've run out of quarried stone. We only have 9 on us. We require 30. But I've spoken to Lydia, and Lydia has ordered a lot more, and it all gets deposited straight into this chest. So let's grab some more. Probably going to need more clay. Yeah, let's take all 40. Let's get the quarried stone, which is there, 100 of it. Ooh, okay. This is going to overburden us, but we're going to be using a lot of it. You're going to find this a lot, by the way. You're going to be overburdened just because of the pure weight of all the materials that you need. It would have been much better if, instead of having to have it in your inventory, it would just take it straight from the tool chest right next to the carpenter's workbench, but it doesn't. So you're going to have to get used to wandering around overburdened a lot while you're actually building the house. Little tip, if you've done what I did, and for example my home in Breezeholme, I already had masses of iron and moonstone and corundum and so on and so on and so on. Transporting that from your existing storage facility, whether it's your house in Breezeholme or your house in Solitude or whatever, to Lakeview can be a real pain in the ass because you can't fast travel while you're encumbered. But a little tip for you, you can fast travel if you're on horseback. So all you have to do is make it from your home to the stable, and you can jump on your mount and fast travel straight here, and it just makes it a lot easier transporting all the materials you need to your house construction site. So let's get this thing thrown up. Foundations, and there they are, and you can see it's going to be some size. And let's get the rest of it constructed. The floor, the wall framing, which unlocks the first level walls, the second floor supports, the main hall roof framing. Let's just take another look at progress. It's going to be some size. It's going to be a big old house. And let's get it finished. And the roof. Toss a cellar in. This is going to use a lot of that stone. It's going to free up a lot of our weight. And there it is. Now the last thing that we need to do, and this is why I didn't bother decorating the inside of the main room here, is convert the cottage into an entry hall. And for that, I think you have to go back to the drafting table. There you go, remodel house into entryway. And so there we are. Now that the main hall and the remodelling of the house into the entryway is complete, a whole bunch of other options have popped up. We're not going to explore those straight away, but I'll just show you what they are. You can build a north, west and east wing to the house, and there are a choice of 3. See, for the east wing you can have an armory, a kitchen or a library, but you have to pick one. Once it's done, you're pretty stuffed, right? You're stuck with it. Let's go for an armory. You can only build these one at a time. And there you go. See, I could go for the north wing, and that would basically remove the foundation markings for the armory and switch them to the north. So it's one at a time. Once the armory's done, you can build a north wing. Once that's done, you can build a west wing, whichever way you want to go about it. So we're just going to leave that up there for the moment. And I'm going to go to the chest and start grabbing materials for decorations. And this is where it gets fun. So let's have a look. I'm going to need bear pelts. Not going to need any of this stuff. Bear pelts, cave bear pelts, yeah, deer hides, I'm going to need those. Dragon bones and dragon scales, no, I don't think so. We'll take the firewood. Glass, we're going to need glass. And all of this stuff, again, the glass you have to buy from building contractors. Any general store in any of the towns will sell you a lot of these materials. Goat hides, obviously, you can just get from killing goats. Goat horns, you can get from killing goats. But a lot of the general stores will also sell you this stuff if you're prepared to just go ahead and pay for it rather than, going out and farming it. It's entirely up to you how you want to go about things. Let's grab some large antlers. Some leather. Yep, we're going to be quite overburdened here. 147. Oh, what the hell. Overburdened is overburdened. Whether overburdened by 1 or overburdened by 100, it doesn't really matter. Mud crab chitin. Powdered mammoth tusk? No, don't need that. River Betty? Possibly. Silverside perch? Maybe. That should do the trick. What else do we have? No, I think that's pretty much everything that we're going to need. So, overburdened as we are, let's crawl over to the house and see what sort of changes we can make to the inside. There's going to be absolutely nothing inside other than a couple of chests and a couple of carpenter's workbenches. So this is now the entry hall, and we're going to start using the carpenter's workbench here to decorate. So let's toss some barrels up, and a dressing table. This is what you need things like glass for, display cases. So yep, let's whack those up there. You can see where we're using lots of sawn logs and lots of nails. And I had over 100 nails earlier, I'm down to 75 now. Weapon racks. Yeah, we'll have some of those. Corner shelves. Yep. Wall shelves. You can see it starting to take place around me. Wall sconces for the exterior. This is what you need goat horns for, to provide illumination, and torches. Miscellaneous decorations. And there we go. Bear pelts. So we can stick a mounted bear head on the wall. Large antlers. That's what you need those for. We're kind of running out now. Wolf head. More wall sconces just for illumination inside. And that's almost completely decorated the entry hall. We're just missing another set of large antlers for an elk head, some saber cat teeth, and some saber cat teeth. So add that to my shopping list, things to look out for, and bingo, there you go. One almost fully decorated room. Still overburdened, still carrying far too much stuff. And here's the main hall. And as in every room in the house, and once you finish fully decorating these places, you can go to the drafting table and remove the workbenches. And here's the workbench for the main hall. So, let's see what we can actually throw up before we start running out of materials and have to restock. As soon as that happens, I'll just go ahead and grab some more gear and come back and show you what it looks like when it's done. Probably going to start running out of sawn logs very soon. Little armor mannequin there. You can build armor, stick it on the mannequin, just to display your blacksmith skills. All sorts of good stuff. Large chandelier, mounted goat head, mounted hawker head, mounted mud crab, alchemy lab, and an arcane enchanter. Yeah, I'm running out of logs. Need a grand soul gem and some gold for those. So, and that's basically almost fully decorated the downstairs of the hall. So what I'll do now is I'll stop recording here. I'll go and I'll get some more materials and I'll fully decorate this place back and come and show you what this and the cellar and everything else looks like when the place is fully done. And so after a little bit of effort, there it is, Lakeview Manor. As you can see, the original cottage is now just the entry hall. There's the main hall. Over here we've built an armoury. At the back there are storage rooms. On the other side, you can't see them from here, we have a greenhouse. But that's not all you can build. You're restricted to, once you make a choice, that's it, it's built. But each of the wings, north, west and east, you have a choice of 3 different things that you can put there. For the east wing, for example, we've built an armoury, but you could have had a kitchen or a library. The north wing, we've built storage rooms, but you could have had a trophy room or an enchanting lab. Over on the western wing, we've built a greenhouse, but we could have had bedrooms or, I think, an alchemy lab. But again, the choices are all made from the drafting table down there. So let's get in closer and have a look at the place. Now that we've almost fully furnished it. It's not 100% done, but we're nearly there. There are still some rare materials that we haven't been able to find. Saber cat teeth in particular. Saber cat are quite rare, and they don't always, you're not always able to loot the teeth when you've killed them. But here we go. This is why it's called Lakeview Manor. So let's pop inside and have a look around and see what we've done with the old place. I really do wish Shadowmere would use the stable, you know. He's not a very well domesticated horse. Now remember what the place looked like when we last left it. It was still mostly bare, but we'd started doing the decorations. Well, I've been around and I've bought a load of new materials. You can see I've Dragonborn battle axe there in the wall rack. I've removed the workbenches. There is a bug in Hearthfire. It might not affect you. It never affected me before I went back to this save game and redid the whole house. But if you find yourself entering the home, particularly here in Lakeview Manor, and particularly if you've built an armory and you keep getting crashes to desktop, just go to the drafting table outside and remove all the workbenches from the house. You can always add them again later. So there's the entry hall. And here's the main house. Looks substantially better than the last time we saw it. Now I don't know what I'm paying this bard for. He's filling his face at the kitchen, at the cooking pot here.
What can I do for you? Of course.
Let's get him to sing something.
Ah, a fine but bloody tale. I can do that one.
Anytime you want to stop eating and start singing, that would be great.
There once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead. And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of bold battles and gold he had made.
Let's have a look around while he's singing.
But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said,
And here's the armory.
Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed.
All these racks and
So
mannequins
then
are
came
empty when
clashing
you
and
first
slashing
build the
steel
place.
As the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
And it just gives you something to do other than sell them. With all the weapons that you pick up while you're leveling up and questing and adventuring and so on and so on. You can use them to decorate the house. So that's the armory. Lots and lots of storage here. In this back room here, I converted this into a storage room. Not that I need it, I just wanted to see what it looked like. In my main save game, this is a trophy room. But I just wanted to see what the storage room looked like, and yeah, it looks like a storage room. You need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of locks and hinges for this place, let me tell you that for nothing. Let's go and have a look at the greenhouse. Now, if you're into alchemy, greenhouse is a definite investment. And you can see, I've left it a few days, let everything grow. And this is going to be an alchemist's wet dream. All the stuff you can harvest in this place. Like the garden outside, these are empty. There's 4 patches of fertile soil in each of these planters, and you just take an alchemy ingredient and you plant it, and then after a couple of days it grows. Some honey there, all sorts of good stuff. This could also be a master bedroom. I forget what the other one is, a kitchen possibly, not sure. Those are your 3 choices. And then downstairs, now this is useful, because
What do you need, my Thane?
the things that you make in the house all require lots and lots of nails and hinges and locks and iron fittings, and it can be a real pain in the ass having to run back outside to the anvil in order to, when you run out. So they put an anvil inside, or the ability to make an anvil. In this back room over here, I've removed it, there's another workbench, and the first thing you need to do when you get to this workbench is build an anvil over there. So you never have to leave the house and go through the whole loading screen every time you decide, oh crap, I'm out of iron nails or hinges. You just whack some more out over there and carry on decorating. Downstairs is the cellar. And the cellar, for me personally, the cellar's the best room in the house. Now, I haven't finished the cellar. We've got a bar, a beer cellar, fantastic. But the main reason, certainly from my point of view, the cellar's the best room in the house is because it comes with a smelter, a forge, a grindstone and a workbench. And numerous chests. So basically I've dumped everything in this chest here. All of my blacksmithing materials are all in that chest. Right next to the forge, right next to the smelter. Fantastic stuff. Another useful little addition to the house. There are various shrines scattered around Skyrim where you can receive a blessing that buffs certain skills, abilities, and so on and so on. You get to build a shrine base here. And I've removed, because of the bug that I was getting, I've removed the workbench. But there's a workbench in here as well. And once you've built the main shrine base, you require talismans of the various different gods and other common materials. But getting hold of the talismans is the problem. So if you've managed to get yourself a talisman of Talos, for example, keep a hold of it. You can build yourself your own shrine to each of the gods. You can have all of them. You don't have to pick one. Just get the talismans of the various gods and you can build the shrines here in the house. And then you can just pick whichever blessing you want. So that's a useful add-on as well. And that pretty much is Hearthfire. All that remains for me to do now is head back to Breeze Home in Whiterun and tell the kids we're moving in here. Oh, let's have a look around upstairs as well. Show you the other bedrooms. You can, as I said, you can turn the west wing into a bedroom annex, but you don't need to because there is a double bed up here for yourself. And a children's bedroom here. Lydia and the Bard also take advantage of these beds. So there you go. That's Hearthfire. It's very, very cheap. For the amount of content you get, it's an absolute bargain. This thing kept me going for 2 solid days of just building the house and furnishing it and going out and finding the materials I needed and so on and so on. And that was doing it the quick and easy way, spending money. If you do it the way you're probably supposed to do it, just collecting materials as you level up and as you quest, this can keep you going for weeks or months. And certainly on Steam, for myself, it costs less than £4, so you're probably looking at around $5. It's an absolute bargain of content for Skyrim. I've certainly had fun playing it. You may as well, you may not. I mean, you just watching this video will be enough to decide whether or not this is the sort of thing you want to spend your time on, but I certainly feel that it was definitely value for money. So I hope you enjoyed that video. There'll be more coming, looking at new mods and old mods for Skyrim and how to get the most out of modding the game just to improve the experience for the way you want to play. Coming in future videos. In the meantime, take care and I'll catch you next time.